Time now for Roper's Take. You know the drill by now. Usually Rich comes in and he talks about 3 shows and movies. Not today. We've got a big one, Homer's Epic, that new movie now, The Odyssey. From our parent company, NBC Universal. Before we let Richard dig in, let's show you part of the trailer.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife? A son?
And then what?
We won the war.
All right, Richard, what did you think? So much buzz around this movie. What's your take?
You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and every once in a while you see a film like Do the Right Thing or The Social Network, No Country for Old Men, and you immediately know you're seeing something special, and I felt that way with The Odyssey. Top 10 movie-going experiences of my life.
Top 10.
I would put The Odyssey in there. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the 70 millimeter and the epic spectacle, and you can see even from that clip. Yes, it's like unlike anything you've ever seen before, but it's a great story. It's filled with heart and tragedy, and even though it's got all these cyclops and monsters and gods and, you know, the Trojan horse, you can relate to the family stories that are embedded in this film.
So a lot of people may not remember the story or haven't read it.
I'm going to read you the poem now.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a long, long poem that is difficult to read. Give us the basic plot to kind of take us through.
So Matt Damon is Odysseus, and he's been on this journey going out and trying to conquer the world and finally try to get his way back home to Penelope, who's played by Anne Hathaway, and Tom Holland's her son. She's trying to keep the kingdom going. So while he's out on this epic adventure and meeting all kinds of magical, mythical, sometimes terrifying creatures, his wife is back home trying to keep it together. So like a lot of Christopher Nolan films like Interstellar, it's about a man trying to find his way home at heart. And you could also relate to, there's a lot of Shakespearean betrayal. This is essentially, Alex, the first superhero movie, because there are Avengers everywhere in here. And the other thing I admire about Christopher Nolan is he goes with it. This is an R-rated film. The violence is on the level of a movie like Gladiator. The intensity is there throughout. And on top of all that, 2 hours and 52 minutes. A lot of people have been asking about that. It's an actor's film. Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Samantha Morton has one of the best roles in the whole thing. Robert Pattinson, all of a sudden John Bernthal. So every scene, an actor will show up, because for a Christopher Nolan movie, people who are usually the leading #1 person on the call sheet will take a 10-minute role because they know it's going to be something special.
I'm just blown away that you put it top 10, because you've seen thousands of movies in your life.
Thousands
and
thousands.
To put it, so you got to talk to Christopher Nolan about this, which is an extra special thing. You've got a relationship with him as a journalist. So what was that like, and what did he say?
Well, it was amazing. I got to see it at the Lincoln Square IMAX, which is one of the biggest in the world, and then talk to Chris Nolan. And I don't know if people realize this, because, you know, he's very British, but he spent a lot of time in Evanston growing up, because his mother was here, so he and his siblings would come here. So he talked about how seeing films at Great America and the IMAX at the Museum of Science and Industry, that's what made him want to do a film in IMAX. And then if you go back to The Dark Knight, shot here in Chicago, that was his kind of dress rehearsal. He shot all of that with IMAX cameras, but just that scene. This entire movie, Alex, the process, these cameras are like the size of this newsroom, and the physical film and shooting in Croatia and Ireland,
6 countries,
6 countries, Morocco, and all this stuff. But all of that kind of falls by the wayside because you're lost in the story. If it's just a technical achievement, it's like a guitar soloist who just keeps on going. You know, you have to have the music and the lyrics to go along with it.
Just an amazing cinematic feat. I'm so glad it's worth the watch, by the way.
Oh, well worth your time and investment.
And you've got the full review right now on NBCChicago.com.
Yeah, the written review as well.
Okay, can't wait to check that out. Richard, thank you so much. Don't miss Roper's Takes right here every Thursday on the NBC 5 News at 11.